Okay, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
And thanks for joining us in our latest, I guess, this little live episode. And today we're going to be talking about where we just got back from.
Mazatlan.
And we're going to be giving you our top 10 list about what we liked about Mazatlan. And maybe just a few things that we didn't like about Mazatlan.
Yeah, we're gonna give you our true experience after stay there about 28 nights or 1 month.
Yeah, we've only been back in Mexico City a few days, like 3, and we already got awakened today in a very Mexico City way. Had a small earthquake this morning.
Oh, this morning. Oh my gosh.
Like, welcome back to Mexico City.
But nothing really happened.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a small shake.
Very minor. But anyway, one thing we do like to ask that we don't ask too often, if you do like our videos and find value, please give us a like and subscribe. And with that, let's just jump in. So what do we like about Mazatlan?
I think the number one is the Malecón. The Malecón is 13 miles long. It's very walkable and very wide. Yeah. So you can walking, biking, and there's some restaurants and cafes on the other side, not right on the Malecón, right? Yeah, and a beautiful sunset.
Yeah. And again, it's just so long. I think it's 13 kilometers, not miles.
Oh, maybe I was wrong.
But again, it's very walkable. There's this nice stuff all over it. It really goes through so many different parts of Mazatlan, right? It kind of starts at the edge of the Sabalo country, which is and then at the beginning of the Golden Zone, and it kind of goes all the way through Centro and everything in between. So you really get a varied kind of look at all that kind of Mazatlan has to offer. And so it's really nice. There's lots of stuff going on there. That's where they're about to have the what do you call it? The Carnival parade that just passed. So again, it's a really interesting place to visit. A lot of things happening at night and all day.
Yeah, and in different part of the Malecón, you do have a different view, right? True. Yeah, if you are in the central area, in one area, I remember every time we pass it, you just see all the buildings along it. So many hotels and the high buildings. Yeah. And at night, it's even more gorgeous.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So it's really worth checking out. If you're there in Mazatlan, you definitely can't miss it, no matter how long you're there. So yeah, the Mazatlan, great. Excuse me. Malecón, absolutely great.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I liked, because we have been to a few beaches, during different times of the year, is to me, it felt just less crowded overall.
Yeah.
Right. Especially for a beach city and a beach town in the winter, which is the high season, right? If you go to Cancun or any other beach town in the winter.
Yesterday, I was just looking at Huatulco video. Oh my God, the beach is just so packed because the popular beaches are very short. Right. So everybody go there. Even the local Mexicans go there for the holiday. Right. It's really packed. But Mazatlan, the beach, because it's very long and very wide, you don't feel like, oh, so many people, so crowded, like in Puerto Vallarta, Muerto Beach, always so packed.
Right. Yeah, and so I really enjoyed that. And I think even just in the city itself, I mean, the beaches, of course, felt less crowded. The town never felt that crowded, except the little area along the Sabalo country where the clubs are on the weekends. Yeah, but that's normal. Right. I think overall, it just felt like you could kind of breathe there. Right. So it kind of gave you a more ease, kind of relaxed feeling just walking around the streets, the beaches. I mean, the beaches by where we lived, I think like the first time we got there right across the street, it almost felt like there was 10 people on the beach. And then there was the one beach around the corner from us. It was, on a dirt road, and it was kind of on the edge of town. But we would go out there, and a few times we were the only people there.
Yeah, I feel like a private beach.
Right. And it was with public access. So I really did enjoy that about Mazatlan, that it does feel less crowded.
Yeah, and also, of course, so many beach choices.
Oh, yeah.
You want a more calm beach or more surfing beach, or like the one we just talked about, nobody beach, the private beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even in the central, there are also swimmable beaches.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of kids swim there, locals hang out there. It's pretty cool.
Right. I mean, it's just really, it's kind of very relaxing when you're there. Don't feel overwhelmed.
Right. If you want something even more quiet, take a boat or water taxi to the Deer Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been there, and the water, it's so peaceful in the morning.
Right.
Go there earlier.
Yeah. And I think that kind of leads to one of the other things that we liked. I guess this could be number 3, is just there's lots of activities. Now, I think this is true of any beach town, right? And so But again, going like we did a whale watching trip, right, which was really neat. We got to go on a catamaran or a trimaran with another family we met from Chicago, which is really cool. We got to see some whales up close.
And we saw it.
And we saw them, right?
Luckily. And I got very seasick.
Yes. But just like everything else, like you mentioned earlier, you can go surfing, people go boogie boarding. You can go across to Deer Island. People can kayak out there.
Or Stone Island.
Or Stone Island,
go there,
which we didn't go. And then there's things like the lighthouse, the Faro, which is a very popular attraction.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the top of the hill, or the hill, they do have like the little glass bridge, which you can go out to. It's a small fee, like 30 pesos to get on.
Yeah, we did our live video about it. It's about 1 hour long, but we did record all the details, how we got at the top and beautiful view. If you are interested, go back to check it out.
Oh yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
So again, just like I mentioned, any beach, lots of stuff to do there. I know the other family we were with, they rented the jet skis. You could rent those Razor like little ATVs, the ones with the loud speakers.
Oh yeah, and the other one, of course, a lot of people take the activity. What's that called? They kind of like taxi things. They drive you around.
The Pulmonia, right? Which are they're just little, very unique taxis, to Mazatlan. You can only find them there. They're kind of little open air taxis. Those are very popular as well. We never got on one of those, but you see them everywhere. They're very uniquely decorated.
Yeah.
They're fun. I mean, I think if you're there and you don't have a car, I think that's the reason we never took one, is we just had our own car, so that does kind of help. Right. Be able to move around town. So what else? We talked about Malecon. It's crowded.
Beach, weather.
The weather. Now, this does come with a small caveat that we are talking about the weather in winter, right? Because obviously we've heard that Mazatlan, just like a lot of beaches, gets very, very hot in the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But right now, we went pretty much the entire month of
in
January.
And I do think in January, it's not a comparison video, but I did compare it a little bit by myself to Puerto Vallarta at the same time, because it's drier there in Mazatlan. So you don't feel so sweaty. I never feel one day I got so steamy, sweaty.
Yeah.
Even just walk along in the middle of the day along the Malecon.
Right. And I think like the hottest it got while we were there was maybe like 82, right? Which was very, very mild, very comfortable all the time.
And January is the coldest month in Mazatlan.
Right. So you have to understand that. So if you go in January, it's absolutely beautiful weather. I mean, I really enjoyed it the whole time.
To swim in the swimming pool in the complex, which is not heated. And we did jump to the ocean
many times.
And
the water is very comfortable. It's like slightly, you get a little, you kind of get in, but you become very comfortable very quickly. Like I know I jumped in. Louie had absolutely zero problem jumping into the ocean. And he just go right in, and the water is comfortable. I'm not going to say it's warm, but very comfortable.
Some part is pretty wavy, so a few times we didn't go.
Right.
But sometimes it's very calm. And some part of the beach is also very calm.
Yeah. Especially when the low tides come out, then it's very easy for kids to play. So like a lot of the beaches are very safe and kid friendly, especially during low tides.
Right.
So again, the weather, awesome.
Next one is the beautiful sunset. And they call Mazatlan sunset the golden sunset.
The golden sunset.
And then Puerto Vallarta is more tropical.
Right. And so, with any kind of West Coast town or beaches, you're going to get these beautiful sunsets. And again, we saw many of them. That was maybe one of our maybe favorite activities, or one of the things we like to do a lot, was go to the beach in the evening. And so we got to see multiple sunsets. And it is, right? When it sets, it's very bright and yellow. And as soon as it kind of goes down, you get all those purples and pinks and dark colors. It was just really beautiful to look at. Again, very calming, very relaxing. Almost meditative. If you
and the water is always very low tide. Maybe it's a January thing. So it's very nice. Take the kids there. They play. A lot of locals take pictures, wedding pictures, and someone even took a horse. We saw that day.
Oh,
yeah. Their 16th birthday.
Yeah, for the quinceañera, right?
She was taking a picture there with horse.
So again, sunsets are worth catching there in Mazatlan for sure. Now, one of the other things we enjoyed was the old town, which is in the downtown, and then around the Plaza Machada, I believe it's called. And that area is they really did a good job of kind of renovating and reamping that part of town. It has this very beautiful kind of colonial look. Get all those kind of colors, those like yellows and blues and purple colors
and
of
the
the buildings.
sidewalk are much wider.
Very well taken care of.
Compared to where we stayed before, Queretaro or San Miguel, we visited many times.
Yeah.
The old town is gorgeous. And very walkable, and even you can like us take a stroller there with Louie. It's still
no problem.
Very handy.
Right. And they put those kind of like antique looking lights all over the streets, and it kind of gives it a nice glow. There's lots of bands playing, but the music that they played for the most part in like the main plaza, it's never like this loud kind of rock. It was always kind of oldies music or very kind of Spanish style, very calm, very tranquil. Lots of good restaurants around there. I've never been there personally, and you have yourself, but I don't know why. I was like, I kind of feel like I'm in Cuba or something. It just had that kind of feel to it.
The nicest Cuba parts.
Or maybe what Cuba used to look like back in the 50s or 60s. Kind of had that feel. It's really nice to walk around there. Just lots of cool stuff. Again, it's definitely worth visiting, having some dinner.
And weekend evening, they even have an art walk.
Oh, yeah.
You just walk around by yourself. There are many galleries and souvenir shops. And also some street vendors selling some art pieces.
Right. I think they're really trying to start to push that kind of side of Mazatlan as kind of an artsy town with a few galleries and trying to invite the public to come in and view the galleries. So it's pretty neat.
And the old town, the whole central, we also went to the Mercado, and we had food upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
The food is amazing and at a very reasonable price.
Right.
And a lot of shops and souvenirs and vendors, of course, they speak pretty good English.
Yeah, they did
we
actually.
Bought some souvenir there, and it's good. Mercado, it's worth to visit.
Right, not overwhelming, not huge. Right, it's a good size, but just like most mercados, if you're new to Mexico, definitely go check it out. Lots of stuff to see.
Yeah, and also take a walk on the street. There are a lot of local brand shops.
Sure.
We bought some good price clothing, and everything's on discount. Awesome.
We found some good sales there on the street, but like in actual stores, right?
Right.
Or Mexican name brand stores, which is really nice.
Yeah, some brand I never saw before.
Right. So definitely check it out. Check out the Centro. Whether it's the old town around the plaza, the main Machada Plaza, or just the other part of Centro, which is older but still very interesting to explore.
True. And another thing about the Centro, come to our next things we love about Mazatlan, of course, the shrimp and seafood. Yeah. And of course, any beach town, seafood is a big deal. Go to lots of seafood restaurants. But the thing in Mazatlan, it's not just that they sell oysters on the beach, and you can buy those raw shrimps and other seafood on the street. There are shrimp ladies there. Yeah. There are maybe like 10 vendors in one area.
One little street.
And we bought the shrimps and other seafoods. We took to the restaurants. And that's a special thing there. They prepare for you.
The restaurants prepare it for you, right? And again, they give you like a set price of how much it costs. One was more reasonable than the other. We found out, which we'll talk about in our other videos.
Oh, yeah. We're going to show you the food. They're true. The one is our preferred, the second one. The first one was not good.
Right, and what they did to us, but that's another story.
Right,
but it's really neat. You can just go buy the shrimp, because Mazatlan is considered the kind of the shrimp capital. I don't know, maybe the world, because there is lots of shrimp there.
Yeah, we know in Queretaro all the shrimps are from Mazatlan.
They're from Mazatlan, and I think a lot of places you go to, you get Mazatlan shrimp, and the prices are very good,
much cheaper.
Much cheaper. I think like what you get for the big. I mean, you're talking like shrimp like that. What would be the price of like a little shrimp back in Queretaro, or even maybe here?
Yeah, it was only 190 peso for a kg.
Right, and I think the smallest one, like for the ones we bought for the ceviche, were like 120 or 130 a kg for the little small shrimp, which are perfect. So very, very good seafood price. Take it across the street to the one with the yellow building, and again, very reasonable. They make it very good. Lots of choices, maybe 6 or 7 choices of how to prepare it. You can do your shrimp, fish, whatever you buy from those ladies. Take it across, have a really good meal at a really good price.
Oh, and it tasted really good.
The garlic shrimp was really good.
Okay, next one. More affordable housing.
Right, and I would just say more affordable overall than everything.
Yeah.
Mostly, right?
Right,
I think for housing, for vacation stays.
Maybe hotels we never check should be pretty similar.
Right.
This we don't know.
Right. But I would say definitely, us being in real estate, we always kind of check prices and rentals and stuff. And so even for our stay, I think we got a pretty good rate, again, where we stayed personally at an Airbnb. Again, we had a whole apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, in a very nice community, a little bit on the kind of the north side of town. What do we pay? You remember?
Maybe something about 15 or 1600 US dollars. Of course, Airbnb, you pay all the fees.
All the fees on top.
Yeah. But we talked to some other Canadian retiree people there, the snowbirds there. One man told me he only paid for 3 months short stay. They paid averagely come to 21,000 pesos a month. Plus you pay your own utilities.
Right.
But that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Right?
For long term in that neighborhood, maybe 18,000.
Right. And so just to compare that to other places, as compared to like Mexico City or Queretaro, where we've stayed or looked, again, it's still very reasonable prices for the size and how new these places were. They weren't brand new, but they were new.
Yeah.
And even as we checked other places, like just how we always talk about, well, what if we lived here? Let's see what we can get for our money as compared to other places. And we found very nice apartments in Central or close to Central or close to the Malecon. Again, ranging from probably 16, 17,000, to like mid-20s, but for very good space, newer.
Yeah, you compare to Puerto Vallarta, that's the only thing we can compare to. We know it's more affordable.
Right.
For how close it is to the beach or to the old town. Yeah.
All right. As like I said, so you get the value in the housing and vacation rentals. Again, I think the food is a little bit less expensive in general. So I think you do get more value in general overall in Mazatlan because, especially as Northerners, as Americans or Canadians, it's not as well known and as popular as the other beach destinations. There's Cabo and Puerto Vallarta and the Maya Riviera in the Yucatan. All those places, that's where the popular places. I think they know that, so they can raise the prices a little bit more. Mazatlan is still, to Northerners, a little bit less discovered, right? But definitely worth visiting if you have the opportunity to.
And I think come to the last one of the housing is the streets. The roads are very flat.
And again, I think this comes comparing to like Puerto Vallarta and other places, even here like Queretaro. Again, it is because it's further north, it's very flat. Geography-wise, and so it's very easy. It's very walkable. They do tend to. It seemed like a lot of the places we visited in Mazatlan, as far as different neighborhoods, for the most part, the pavement and the sidewalks tended to be pretty well taken care of, and not too many holes or anything sticking up all over the place to cause like tripping hazards. Even just for that perspective.
Yeah, not so many steps or the hills. The only hill I found is in the central, called the Playa Sur, the south part of Central. Right. And we drove all the way to the top to see the Mirador, and had a great view. But if you live there, of course, you need a car. Nobody really climb hiking there every day.
Yeah, so that's kind of the one little hill right in the edge of town. So that's kind of what I would consider our top 10 list of Mazatlan. There's other things that people like and enjoy. Now, a little added bonus, I guess we can add what we didn't like about Mazatlan.
It's always fun to talk about it. What do you don't like about Mazatlan?
And it's important to understand what to expect.
True.
Right?
Not everything's perfect.
Right. As much as we enjoyed it, some things we didn't enjoy. I think one of the things that we kind of notice about Mazatlan is it, in general, as a city, tends to feel loud. Right. And again, that comes from older buses, right? They have different types of what do you call them? The manhole covers on the streets, and so every time a car hits it, you hear them boom, 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 boom. Mazatlan is very well known for banda music, right? And banda music, if you're not aware, is a very loud, thumping drums, clarinet, like in your face type of music.
But not everywhere. Mainly, it happened in the Golden Zone, on the beach, or by a few. Outside of some restaurants and hotels, but some restaurants that has a strict
they ask not to.
We saw a stick.
Right, it said, please don't hire bands that are coming through, for our clients. So and then or like the Razors I mentioned earlier, which are those ATVs that had the super loud speakers. I mean, those things, they really equip them with a sound system that they go. And again, this is mainly in the Golden Zone, hotel zone.
Right. That's also need to tell you guys, if you book an Airbnb in the Golden Zone, make sure you talk to the owner, like how loud it is. How is that the area where all this taxi and loud music, tourist car going to pass through.
Right, because the Razors are super loud, and some of those pulmonias they also have systems. I think the ones are the Razors are the crazy ones. the ones that you can rent.
It's not just, I didn't rent a place. It's not next to any nightclubs. No, it's not about nightclubs.
The nightclub comes to you.
Yeah, right.
So again, there is a little bit of loudness to it, but I think it's also can be seen as kind of a party vibe, right? So if you're okay with that, and maybe that could be a plus for someone. If you're there and you enjoy that, you really want to go out, hey, all the power to you. You can probably go have a good time, have some good drinks with your friends, go and party, listen to loud music, and you probably have a great time. For others, it may be a con, right? Something else was the food, right? Now and again, to be upfront, we did have some excellent food there, right? So we're not saying all the food is bad, but for like some of the random places we walked into, and again, compared to other beaches and towns we went to in our travels throughout Mexico, it seemed, I would say you're almost right, maybe 50-50, maybe 60-40.
You just don't know. Like
the food was just
like we love the birria soup and the golden taco, the what's called taco dorados, and the one I ordered, it had pretty good reviews on the Google reviews. And we went there. Maybe I was unlucky that morning, and they served me the taco. It's so chewy. It's how golden taco to be. Not even crispy.
Right.
I couldn't even bite it. It was really chewy.
I had to finish it for.
Yeah. And he said that's a style. I said no, it's not a style. Until another day we had it in the
and
hotel.
They're more crispy.
Yeah, it's like a real authentic crispy.
And again, this kind of goes to the example of the good and the bad, because the birria, I had the birria soup, and it was delicious.
The soup was good.
She really liked it. So there is great food there. But it did seem that in the randomness of going into these places, it was kind of hit and miss. Like
even there's a very popular taqueria in Old Town, had a great review. Oh, the food Rod ordered is good. It's pretty good.
Right.
But the one I ordered, the carne asada, was just come out so tough and so dry.
Right.
Like just hitting and miss. You don't know what you expect.
Right. And I think then there was, which was the Taqueria Playa Sur, right?
Yeah,
and
that's the one I talk about.
Right. Just so you know. And then there was Pancho's, I think, which was like the nicer one.
Right.
Right. Which is, again, it's a kind of mid-level, high-level restaurant, if you want to call it. It's a little bit nicer.
Oh, that one.
Right? But the one on the beach had a very nice view on the beach. And again, has excellent reviews. You go there, and I got you got the fajitas, right?
Right, very tough.
Oh, very chewy. Like again, for such a for the price you pay, for the reviews, the way they were written, and even mine were a little bit tough in my molcajete. They weren't as good.
And Louie ordered a burger.
Salty.
Yeah, we both had a bite, and it's so salty. Like what? That's the first salty burger I had. Yeah. How much salt you can put to make the burger salty?
We found out.
Yeah, right? That's the one.
And again, obviously, this is only our experience. Yeah. Like I said, we did have some great food there, good and great food there.
Yeah.
But again, it just seemed that as compared to other places we went to, we're like, oh, this is good. This is good. Like again, we compared to Puerto Vallarta. I can't think of one restaurant that we just walked off onto the street and didn't have awesome food.
Yeah, even Michoacan, we passed by, even just on the highway, we're driving.
Oh, yeah.
Even the food of this Mexico City, Mexico State, on the highway, the food is just good.
Oh, so delicious, right? Yeah. And as compared to Jalisco and all those areas, awesome food. So just, maybe yes, maybe no, who knows? Maybe no. And then going with the food, one of the things we also noticed is there's not as many like street vendors, right?
True.
Which is just, maybe we're spoiled because of Mexico City, and again, going to Puerto Vallarta and other places where there's just street vendors selling street tacos and all kinds of.
That's what we love.
So good, right? And there are a few, but it tends to be more hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yeah.
We really didn't see like anything else besides it on the street.
Yeah, I was expecting maybe they sell some shrimp taco and fish taco just in the local neighborhoods on the street, but not so many.
Right.
Maybe in the central there are more
hiding that we don't know about.
Yeah.
And again, we're talking more specifically about like the stands. I mean, you can. There's a little small restaurants that are proper restaurants, but as far as like little vendors on the street with the little carts, not really. So if you like that kind of thing, don't expect to find it everywhere. Right. And I think maybe lastly, and again, this is probably more of a winter thing. Again, winter in most beach towns is going to have a very high level of snowbirds, right? Which is fine. I mean, for the most part, where we stayed at, the vast majority of the people we talked to and Louie ended up absolutely loving, we're Canadian visitors, who are there for the winter. But it gets kind of, after a while, you just, you like to be around people your own age, right?
Yeah, but
And again,
maybe more variety of age groups. And but we find over there, majority are elder group, maybe like 60 above.
Retirees.
Yeah.
Right.
And we went to some restaurants has good reviews. The taco restaurants, the beachside, the seafood, and a few sounds more local restaurants.
Right.
But we walk in, it's majority, like over 95% elder gringos.
Even in the plaza, the Palma Machada, again, majority of retirees there. And again, nice people, had a good time, had some good conversations. It's just when you start seeing them every day, it's like
a little bit too much.
Yeah, you would like to see a little more local. And again, I know we can go. People are going to say out there, well, then just go to the more local spots. We did, right? And we did see, but even a variety of like tourists, visitors from the outside. Again, they just either tend to be nationals, which is, again, we talked to some great nationals, or very old retiree.
That's the majority,
right? Yeah. So it's a, I don't know if it's a pro or con. It's just something to be aware of.
But if you are 60 above, that's your age group. It's perfect. Because you have similar, no age gap.
Right.
But for us, we're in 40s.
Right.
We're looking forward to maybe more family in our age group.
Right.
To hang out and talk to. But yeah, you don't have so many choices over there.
Right.
Maybe just the seasonal.
So be aware, right? Obviously, I think during the summers and stuff, most of them go home by then. So obviously, this video is very kind of particular to winter, right? And the pluses are the pros and cons of Mazatlan. But overall, that's what we thought.
Yeah, and also, of course, like any beach town, not many parks.
Oh yeah. So if you have a family, the parks.
We saw one big park in the middle, and
it was very mediocre.
It's okay.
Nothing.
It's good enough. It's
good enough, which is not her favorite saying. I think it's good enough. But overall, I think that's kind of our feeling of Mazatlan. I think overall we had a very positive experience for being there for a month. I would like to believe, I think in the future we could definitely see ourselves going back. For visiting. I think the pluses outweigh the minuses, right?
Sure.
So it's definitely worth checking out. I think, as I mentioned, it's maybe not as well known as other destinations, and it's definitely worth checking out because I think, like we said, especially in the winter, the weather, the value that you get, it's a great underrated city. Right?
Yeah, and there's so many new developments coming
It's growing.
out. It's growing. It's keep expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So check it out. Let us know what you think. Did we miss anything? Were we wrong about anything?
Yeah, of course, we were coming out more vlog-style videos about Mazatlan. I have so many videos.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even have time to edit them.
But they're coming out, so be on the lookout for those, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining.
Bye.